Today's question comes from Eric. So Eric has two questions. He said, "Hi, Sunny and everybody. Firstly, thank you so much for sharing all these tips and videos. It is really useful." Very happy to hear, Eric. Thank you. He said, "I have two questions, one more technical and one more conceptual." So the first one is, you suggest two types of meditations. One where we focus the mind on an external thing, sensation or breathing, and one for self-inquiry. Can the two be combined, like starting meditation by focusing attention and then shifting to self-inquiry? Absolutely, Eric. So just to answer the first question very quickly, because it is very simple, absolutely, you can start with awareness of sensation, of hands or any other body part, or even breath, where you are focusing the attention, in which, the mind is calming down. Restlessness is dissolving. And from there, you can begin your self-inquiry practice, where rather than even being aware of one particular thing like sensation or breath, you are just aware of awareness. So it's like you take a backward step from what you are focusing on to the awareness, which is aware. So absolutely, you can combine both. And sometimes it is actually even more helpful to do so. So let's get to your second question, which is the main point of today's video. You said, "I guess we identify to our body because we need to take responsibility for its action. If we are not our body, in theory, we can say that we are not responsible for whatever it does. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. Many thanks." More important than figuring out if you are responsible for the body's actions or not is you first identifying yourself. So if you are not the body, what is this you, what is this me that would be responsible for its actions or not responsible? Do you see how we come right back to the main question of self-inquiry? What exactly is this self that I feel myself to be? What exactly is it present as? Who would either be responsible or not responsible? So we say, "Oh, I am not the body, but am I responsible?" And notice when I say, "Am I responsible?" I start to think of myself as a body. So I say, "I am not the body, but am I the body responsible for its actions?" So you can think of it in two ways. You are not the body, and you are not responsible for the actions of the body. Of the entire moving image that you call the body and its life, you are only the witness of. So no matter what happens, you are only the witness. Now, if you think I'm responsible or not responsible, well, firstly, you have to define, right? Who is responsible? And this will actually take you right back to the witnessing. Because about yourself, you can't say anything. You can only be the witness. You can only be aware. The only thing that you can really say about yourself with absolute certainty is, I'm aware. I am. Awareness is. So the whole question of responsibility goes. The question of responsibility only arises when you think of yourself as a body, having this idea that I am not the body, so am I responsible for its actions? The moment you bring your identity in question, who are you? The question of responsibility dies with it. Another way you can see it is only the body is responsible for the body's actions. So if the body does good things, it bears the fruit of good behavior. If the body does bad things, if it commits a crime, it bears the fruit, the consequences of that bad behavior. And again, of all of this, you are only the witness. So oftentimes we get the question that like, oh, if you are preaching that you are not the doer of the body's actions, then does that mean that the people who believe this are just going to do anything and commit crimes and not take responsibility for it? Now, It's funny how the mind creates all these silly concerns. One who truly understands this principle of non-doership understands that it's not just a get out of jail free pass. It's not an excuse for the actions of the body. If one is using this teaching to just do reckless things, then one doesn't really understand this teaching. When you actually start to understand that you are not the doer, you are not the body that acts, you are not the mind that decides, that chooses, you are not the self-image on behalf of whom you decide and do. What is starting to happen is that your authentic expression begins to unfold. And the place where this understanding is arising, there can be no room for dysfunctional behavior, which is constantly intentionally harming others. Because that dysfunctional, harmful behavior only arises on behalf of identification with the mind and body, identification with the self-image that the mind paints. As that identification starts to dissolve through the understanding of this teaching, that dysfunctional behavior also goes with it. And then what remains is just the movement of manifestation, the spontaneous expression of the person, which is this mind and body. And that is so unlikely to be harmful, at least intentionally harmful behavior. And of this, you are only the witness. So whatever the body does, and whatever the experience is, right? Whatever you are doing, you will be subject to experience the consequences of that. And that you can say is taking responsibility. However, you understand more at a deeper level that of all of this, you are only the witness. So my advice to you would be, take full responsibility for your actions. Do and act and decide to the best of your understanding. There's a quote by Nisargadatta Maharaj that sin is acting in contradiction to your highest understanding. So with this definition, always think, feel, and do based on what you know to be true and, the best possible course of action. And wherever that leads, just be the witness. You'll notice that if you continue to try to just act according to your best understanding, this intelligence, this deeper wisdom will keep shining through into your actions. And the actions of the body will be more and more harmonious. But you will not identify. So know that although it appears I am the body doing, see how actually there's awareness of the changeful body. There's awareness of the actions of the body. There's awareness of the mind which is deciding. You are not that which is appearing to happen. You are not the activity in consciousness. You are simply the witness. You are simply the awareness in which it appears. In this way, you will live a full life without identifying and suffering with the contents of consciousness. Now, in order to start growing in this understanding, you need to practice meditation. You need to practice self-inquiry. For that, I have a free resource right now. It is a PDF document. It walks you through step by step how to practice self-inquiry correctly without making mistakes, and really how to deepen your practice. So please download that for free down below. I'll link it in the description box and the first comment of this video. Along with that, you can also join our lovely community in which you can ask me these types of questions, and I choose a few every single week that I make a video on this channel. Also, make sure to subscribe to my main channel where I release meditations and long-form videos as well. Now, lastly, if this is something that you need more personal help with and you are looking to work with me privately, then learn more about my School of Awakening. I'll link it down below as well. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was really helpful to you. Apply the teachings into your life. I'll see you next time. Thanks.